Hi, it's Derek Herchter with Donner and Associates. Today I'm with Angie from Mex Property Inspections. See, so you're a property inspector.
Yes, that's right. I'm a property inspector or home inspector here in Puerto, Vallarta.
And people often ask our clients, are like, should we get a property inspection? So obviously this is for buyers, if you're watching. Buyers, once you make an offer, you have, in our contract anyway, 7 business days to get a property inspection done. And so we'll reach out to a property inspector like Angie, and what is involved then from that point on? You kind of ask us what the property is, if it's a condo or house, how many bedrooms, so you can get an idea of how much time is needed and the cost.
That's right. So each inspection is based on the size of the property, but the process is the same for every inspection, and it's very comprehensive. The process, the checkpoints include everything from the roof, the structure, electrical, plumbing, air conditioning, pool systems. So it's quite comprehensive, and it's a home inspection is a very important step in the home buying process because it gives the buyer a very good, detailed, and complete snapshot of the condition of the home that they're buying.
Right, and there always is something. There's a new condo and people just, flip it really quickly and they're like, oh, there's really nothing wrong. And you find out that there's, some things wrong because you can't always see issues like, I guess, moisture in the walls or in the ceiling and stuff, correct?
Right, so more times than not, brand new developments, we find a lot of defects. Sometimes they are quite visual and you can see with the naked eye, but a lot of times the defects are not so easily found and require specialized tools like infrared imaging or gas detection tools.
Yeah, and most people assume with pre-construction you don't need a home inspection, but it's recommended for those as well, just to protect yourself. Because once you sign off on delivery or things like that or possession, then you could be a little SOL depending on your developer or what's in your contract. But often it's for resale homes and condos in Mexico here. And you travel all over and you've done thousands.
Yes, so since the year 2020 we've performed over 1,300 inspections.
Wow. Do you have, a favorite? I follow you on Instagram, so I see some of your inspections are in beautiful places. That's the great thing about in real estate. You get to go to see sometimes how the other half lives and some beautiful locations and beautiful homes and beautiful condos. Do you have a favorite place that you've inspected and why?
That's a tough one because Mexico is just so beautiful everywhere. I would say one of my favorite places to go is Punta de Mita. Spectacular beaches and views all the time. Any inspection I've had there, the house was always beautiful, the views are always beautiful, and of course the people.
Right, well, I can afford to keep it beautiful and stuff. That's where all the pretty people and rich people live. So what are the issues that often come up in an inspection now? I assume there's a lot of kind of mold or mildew issues or having to do with water and the elements. Would that be the case?
That can be common because we live in an environment where there's high humidity, so of course we will get more microbial growth, but that's pretty normal. Where it becomes an issue is if there is an ongoing leaking pipe or condensation that's always leaves the surface wet and very little airflow. Then you have a lot of mold growth happening, which can be toxic or hazardous to human health. But most time we just find very minor maintenance defects such as worn waterproofing on the roof. Sometimes we'll find gas leaks at a connection that just needs to be tightened better. And again, for finding those type of defects, we use specialized tools like gas detectors and infrared imaging for, a roof that is allowing moisture infiltration inside the house.
Right, not every inspector has the special tools that you do, and so it's important to just like you do with the realtor, ask about your property inspectors and see what they charge and what one might be cheaper, but what's involved, because you actually might not find out everything that you need to find out.
Right. Every inspector has their own process and tools that they use. We all have are different, basically. So if you are looking for an inspector, it's highly recommended that not only do you get a quote for the inspection, but ask for a sample report, because then that will give you a really good idea of how the inspector works and what kind of tools they use,
Right.
and what to expect basically from the inspection.
It's a very thorough report that you give to. My clients are always very happy, and I always say it's very thorough. So don't a lot of the electrical units aren't grounded in Mexico, so that shows up in most of the reports, which I tell people that's very common. So it's not a default of the property, it's just the way things were done and continue to be done for the most part.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're going to always disclose all defects and conditions. Not all of them are deal breakers, such as the grounding. It's very common for electrical outlets in Mexico not to be grounded, and it's not a major concern here. When it does become a safety issue is if there's no grounding around wet areas such as swimming pools.
Right, because obviously there aren't as many electrical fires when the structures are made of concrete and not wood.
That's right.
To burn. And so when you have a major inspection with lots of stuff, you have a whole team of people to check out cisterns, and they go inside them, and like a scuba diver and check, and pool specialists that you have for a lot of stuff. What other specialists, or tell me about the specialists you have on your team?
So we have a really good solid network of subject matter specialists that we work with, such as structural engineers, pool technicians, air conditioning technicians, electricians, plumbers. So for major or very complex or high-end inspections that require more than just myself to go in to inspect, we have a team that will do the inspection together.
Good. Well, you've become very highly regarded in town. I know you're often quite busy, and it's great that it's a female-owned and led company in rare Mexico, which I'm sure has its challenges sometimes too.
Yes.
But congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
And follow her, or go check her out, mexpropertyinspections.com, and on Instagram, like I said, it's Mex. Well, I'll post it up here so you can follow it and tag you. But you post lots of interesting stuff, which is great. And I think that's important for buyers and sellers to see what is involved in a day-to-day kind of life of a property inspector.
Great, yeah. Thank you so much, Derek.
Did I say something?